Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. We are going to work in the journals that we made for the back fin here, the very last fin we made. I showed you two different ways to make a journal using the templates, the templates that we are using are the Simply Magical Portrait version, and this is the album that we are creating. So I have a playlist for this album. It's step by step. Starts with the introduction to the templates and it goes from there. It takes you step by step on making the covers, making the binding, making the pages, doing some embellishing, different ways to use the template, all of that stuff. So it's chock full of a bunch of ideas. So I will link that playlist up here and down below in the description box. And there's also a special Amazon list for this project, and there's also other links like my magnet resources, my tape adhesive resources, that kind of thing, are all down below in the description box. So I went ahead and took this out, and I'm actually first, let me scoot that aside. I'm going to show you what I think I only, hang on, I think you're there we go. I think I only added, since the last video, I think I only did one thing. I'm pretty sure I only did one thing, and that is, this was the last video where we made these, right, super cute. And then off camera I went ahead and matted this page here that's behind the triple flip pocket, because I think I'm just going to leave it plain like this, because again, we're getting really bulky, and I know I tell you all the time that I'm just showing you a bunch of ideas. So you don't have to put every idea into the same book. You can take this idea and do it on every page if you want it to. You can mix and match, and you can just do it however you want in whatever order you want. I just like to show you as many possible ideas that I can in the album. But that being said, it's also helpful to follow along making it with me, even if it's just paper you don't like, or a paper you want to use, or it's paper you've been hoarding, or paper that you've got a bunch of, just to make it just for, if you're like me, I like to physically make something that makes it more stuck in my memory. Like, how does this work? I like to physically make examples, for example, of what I'm doing. So you can do that as well. And that way you can decide then what type of pages you like to use best in your next album. Or you can just make it right along with me and use it just as it is. It just might be a little overstuffed. So this is the only thing that I did, I think, off camera to the album. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And then I did take these out, and I have already started a little bit on that. So what I did was, here's the covers that we made. We are going to be making this into like a hybrid journal. It's like going to be a journal, it's going to be a junk journal, it's going to be like a mini album. So this goes in one of the fins. Okay, so we did this cover, and then we also made one where we did just a plain cover with dot grid paper. So what I did, and because again this album is getting really big, what I decided to do was take that cover that I made, that it was identical to this one, except it was just plain, it was just a plain cover. We didn't decorate it at all. I have something upside down or backwards or something, because this was cut off of this middle part. I'll figure it out. There we go. There we go. I think that's it, right? So I just cut it down to actually be the mat for the inside of this cover. So that's what I did. You could have left it just as the cover of a journal and made a new set of mats, but I just decided to go ahead and take this and make it the mats to the inside of here. So I am going to go ahead and glue these two pieces down. Just using a Fabri-Tac, but you use whatever your favorite adhesive is. my most favorite thing about Fabri-Tac is it does give you a little bit of wiggle room. And it works on everything. So the mats for these journal covers are on page, let me make sure I'm looking at the right one, page P24, in case you needed to know. That all is in the guide set of templates, all of that information. Okay, so we got that done. And then here is the guts of the book. This is the junk journal part. I'm not going to fool with this right now. What we're going to do is we're going to make some fun little pockets for the inside of here. But I am going to keep all of this together so that I can use it inside of this little journal we're going to make. So I'm actually going to stick this inside here underneath that band there. See, nothing is sewn in yet, so you can move stuff around easily. All right, I'm going to set this aside. Okay, so what I have prepared is, oops, something's sticking out over here. That's actually, hang on. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take page P9 out of the portrait version. I printed it onto white cardstock, and I think I just printed, yeah, I just printed one. I was thinking I printed two, but I didn't. I printed it onto white cardstock, and I cut these two pockets away. I scored all three of the tabs, put tape on them, inked them up, and they're both ready to go. And then I printed page P27, which is the mats for this page. And I've already cut those out. I don't think, did I ink that up? I inked one up, it looks like. And I printed the mats, which is this is the floral background I printed. And we're gonna mat the pockets with those. So let me set that aside. So basically, I'm going to attach these pockets down, one on each side of the covers, and then we're gonna make an insert. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this bottom tape backing, and I'm going to put this all the way down. I'm just going to come up just a smidge because the insert we're going to use is something we printed off in the last video. So we're going to make use of that. So I'm going to flip this up and put some tape on it, so the insert doesn't get stuck. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Alright, and then I'm going to mat it. So I put P9 on here. I don't think you can, let me erase it. So when I prep, I try to put the number of the page number so that I can tell you, so I don't get confused. Just makes recording go a lot faster. So now this paper does have a direction, this floral, but I don't mind that it's going to be going the wrong direction with this, because I think we're going to embellish the pockets a little bit further. That's kind of the goal anyways. We'll see. And I accidentally printed this mat just onto 28-pound paper. I still had the paper in there where I print photo mats. So it doesn't matter though, because it actually kind of helps. It kind of cuts down on a little bit of bulk. So keep that in mind when you're printing your mats. You can print onto thin thinner paper. Alright, so I'm going to set these two pieces aside for now. And I'm going to clip them together so that they stay together. Just so I don't, you know, lose the mat for it. Alright, so now I've got that, which looks pretty good. Oh, I just moved you. Come back. Okay, so I think the inserts, like I said, we printed these out. We used these in the last video, which is on page, whoops, E6. So we printed these out for the last video that we did, and we used these two parts, but we didn't use this part. So we have two of them. So I'm going to use this part here, and we're going to make a tag booklet thingy. So I've already did the cutting of everything, and I've cut the mats out and all of that, and I've started on one. So we're going to make something that looks like this. So it's just a bunch of, which we've made before. We've already made this type of insert before. I gotta move some stuff here. Everything's gonna fall. It's actually, we used it in the cover. So we're kind of making something like this. We're just not gonna put any photo mats on it. Okay? All right, we're just kind of putting like scrap paper. So this is how far I've gotten. So I went ahead and put one together, and I haven't matted the back of it yet. So this is E6. So I think what we'll do is we'll just put this piece here. Everything's already got the tape and everything on there. And we're just gonna put it down. We're gonna go, everything's inked up front and back. You don't really have to worry about whether or not things will slide under there. You don't have to tape anything or anything like that. All right, so I'm just gonna put this on the top here. I only got off just a little bit there. Okay, and then I'm gonna mat it with this. So they're both the same mat. Except I think the back two mats are gonna have to be two different mats, and I'll show you why in just a second. Oops. I'll let this dry for a minute. So I know you've heard me say before that some of the templates are designed to use the large cut-off pieces as mats. So if you've been around a long time, you know what these are. These are the, when we cut our 12 by 12 pattern paper down to go through our printers, we have a large cutoff piece. So I'm thinking I was going to use these, because these will mat the backs of these. I just don't know. I'm not going to use that side, but I could possibly use that side. I could use that side. I could use that side. I could use that side. Let's use these two sides. All right, so I'm going to put this one back. Okay, so then the mat for E6 is on page E21, so I'm going to grab that. And I'm going to mark it and cut it, ink them up. I'm just going to do them together here. Can you see? You can't see. Sorry, I'm running out of space here. These little pieces here, I'm going to put back in my sleeve. And I have a couple slots in this sleeve here that will hold these smaller cutoff pieces, because again, I could have used these as for the mats for the top part as well. I just found a scrap in my scraps that I used that for instead. But yeah, so keep them separate because there are some templates that these are meant to, or they fit perfectly on the templates for a mat. So see, this will go here, and this one will go here, whichever. I mean, they're both kind of the same, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna ink these up, and I'll be right back. I've been using the Distress Oxide Walnut Stain. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to add these onto the back of the little notepad insert. And we still might come back and add something to these, a little bit more bling. But for right now, we're just going to talk about what I used for pages. So I just used that same mat, this one here, to cut down some coffee stained paper, vintage notebook paper, vintage ledger paper, just random bits of paper here and there. Oh, nope. And I don't even really know how many I used, but it doesn't really matter. You can use however many you want to. So I'm going to take a little tiny stapler, and I'm just going to staple at the top on each side like that. I'm going to move these aside. And I'm going to actually use a piece of tape. This is just, I think this one is cherry on top. Watch it not be. I keep calling it cherry on tops, but watch it not be cherry on tops. Okay, so I'm going to burnish that down, and then I'm going to take it and attach it inside of there. Like this. So you see the longest one is about the size of the mat. And so again, you could put photo mats here if you want to. You could mat the inside of this if you want to. I'm actually going to use this as a guide to, oops, instead of having to measure the other one, I'm going to use this one as a guide. Oops. What do we got there? Oh, glue from the, I was like, what is that? So you'll see this one has loose pieces, and we're going to add some loose pieces to this one as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just lay this on top here, and I'm going to mark it so it's just in the exact same spot. I love making these. These can be so useful. Okay. Alright, then I'm going to grab my art glitter glue and my hoe reinforcements. We made these early on. They're in this video's in the playlist. And actually, I've been liking using my little tweezers to hold it a little bit better. We're going to put glue on the back just so that it will keep from coming up. So these are the ones that we did the gold distress foiling on. We haven't done that in a while, have we? I've been so focused on getting big parts of this book done. I haven't done a whole lot of embellishing, which is okay. And one more. We're just doing, I just used the pink ones I don't know why. I guess I could have used the green ones. It doesn't really matter, whichever one you want to use. Or you don't have to use hole reinforcements at all. Okay. And so now I would like to add some a pull to it. So I've got my 2 different baker's twines here. Baker's twines. Is that how you say plural? One's the gold and white, and then the black and white. So I'm just going to give myself just a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to how much I have here. And we're going to make a pull. You know what I was thinking too? This might be a good place to put one of the gems. I hadn't thought about that. That might be a good place to do that. That's kind of cute. All right, so I did take a couple cards and snippets and stuff that I had out of my crafty companion tray here, just things that I had cut apart from the paper for whatever reason. I just thought it might be kind of cute to, ooh, that one's kind of big, to tuck these things in here and there. This and that one probably won't work. I could maybe shorten that one. I like this pink right here. Just adding different little random bits sticking out here and there. This one might be too small, or maybe not. Maybe it just, oh, that one's got that on the back. I'm just looking at my different stuffs here, my different stuffs. Now these are just pieces that I cut off, so it doesn't have to be anything specific. Let me straighten this one up a little bit. Anyway, I was kind of wanting something smaller here, like in front, like on that one. Sorry, I got distracted from, let's see, from what I was doing here. Oh, what about my tags? I got some tags I could use as well. I don't know. Let's just put anything in here. There's just a scrap of the, no, let's not. I thought I had more scrappy scraps. I guess I do. I do have embellishments though. Oh, you got this. Let's stick that there. Oh, that one's glued. Oh, I got that. That's so pretty. I want to use that on a page. Okay. Got these. Maybe we'll use this. I love this. You can even do it upside down. How cute. Okay. So we've got a lot of, why didn't I use this? We've got a lot of embellishments that we can use. We just haven't yet. Okay. So, right, won't this be cute to have these in here? Oh, I didn't even check to make sure they were short enough. Yeah, they're short enough. Yeah. Right? Super cute. So the gemstones I was talking about are somewhere. Here they are. It might be too much. It might be too much. They might be too thick for... I still haven't used them though, have I? I'm gonna have to use them for something. So, okay. Scratch that idea. But anyway, right? Super cute. So there's the start. There's the beginning of our journal insert hybrid. Yeah. I think that we will just stop there. Let's put it in the book. Oops. See, there's not a paper clip. So if we'd have done a paper clip, it would have been a lot easier for it to, a lot easier for those little things to stay in there. But I thought let's simplify it just a little bit. Right, so we'll simplify it a little bit, and that way we can add or subtract anything that we want. So yeah, there's the little booklet inside of the third fin. So we will, let's see, we will maybe do some junk journal pages, maybe do a hybrid. This is on my nerves. I kind of just want to fold it so it quits. Or roll it. We could add some more inserts into here. Like we've got, well, we don't have a bunch of stuff. We have a few printed things, like some tags and things that we can add in here as well. We have some booklets, but I don't think we need a booklet because we're going to do, you know, like some journaling pages in here. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. See what comes of it. Alright you guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments, and be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and all that jazz. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.